What is going to be up here, do we think? What? What is this? Is this glow-in-the-dark paint, or those like stickers you can stick on your ceiling, or is this like lights that have been left on for years? Like, what is going on here? It's like a shrine almost. What?
Here, found a switch.
Oh, hell no. It's like her own little goblin lair. Yeah, exactly.
Holy shit. Well, that shaved a few years off my life.
Oh no. Oh, there's more story on the wall.
Whoa.
So there's little twinkly lights, and there's... Damn. I wouldn't know how to feel about all this. You know what I mean?
Story.
That is so dang cute. Yeah.
She left
They
us-
look more freaked out than anything. Are those pie symbols?
It's got a combination lock. with
Oh
letters.
no, one of these.
Do you think she hid the code somewhere in all this?
Story time. Yep.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, fair. Yeah.
You want to do this?
Yeah. Let's start here.
Can't solve a puzzle without you reading out loud. Yeah, exactly. Touch.
It seems like it's not doing anything. Maybe it's broken?
Or maybe we just need to solve the puzzles in order.
Story
We're not done with the other
time.
one yet.
Alright, let's try to start at the beginning. So, I think it starts with Once Upon a Time. If I had to bet money on it, I would say that it starts with this freaky dude.
Recognize this?
Yeah. It's from the story where the goblins tricked the Mad Hunter.
It looks...
It moves. Oh. Some of
What?
these parts are buttons.
Once upon a time, there was a young princess who felt hopeless.
Is there an extra star here? Or am I just imagining that?
Okay.
Huh. No goblins.
Yeah. In the original, the goblins managed to save the princess from the Mad Hunter.
So we... Wait. The princess is running away from the Mad Hunter.
Who was sent by the Gold Lady, according to the story.
Do you think the Gold Lady could have been Marianne's mom? I mean, she always used to say she moved to the end of the world to get away from her family.
Yeah, you're right. She ran away. Just like the princess is here.
Solved it. Their father is named Matt Hunter. Get out of here.
Why do you
There's
think
so
she
many-
added that castle in the background?
See the color of the flag? It could be her mother's castle.
There's so many things to select. I don't know how we're gonna do this.
Marianne ran away from home. And she grew up kinda rich? Did she add that flower? Is that like a innocence lost kind of thing?
Hit the book.
The Mad Hunter still has two hands here.
So this was either before the Gold Lady cut off his other one, or after he earned...
Huh. A pink flower. Was that in the original picture? Maybe not.
I'm confused about what I'm supposed to do. Let's look at the book. Are we supposed to start at the beginning? Okay, I'm gonna read now. Once upon a time, in a castle just beyond the ancient and deep forest, the Mad Hunter was punished by the Gold Lady for failing to return with the wise princess. For your failure, said the Gold Lady, I will take your left hand. You will return to the ancient and deep forest and hunt the wise princess, and if you can bring her back, I will return your hand to you. Fail again, and I will take your right hand. The Mad Hunter could hunt with just his right hand, but if he lost both his hands, he would never be able to hunt again, and would no longer be a Mad Hunter, but only a madman. So, the Mad Hunter returned to the ancient and deep forest, searching with his piercing eye, for the wise princess. Do we need to keep reading, or should we go and select some things? Because I'm pretty sure... I don't know if the wall is the entire story. Okay, so I think this is just the beginning.
Okay, spot the differences.
Okay, so we selected that.
It's just a random star. No special meaning.
Okay.
It's just a random star. No special
I think you need to select the differences from the picture in the book. So we have to select the things that are different from the story.
The title is different.
The title is different, you're right. Yeah.
It's not the same title, so I guess that counts as a difference.
So the hand too, yeah. It's the right hand.
Or not.
Wait, is that the... Okay.
Really grasping at straws here.
His left hand, stage left. Oh, okay.
Never mind. That's nothing. Or not.
Wait, you can't? Can you select his other hand? Stage left, thank you.
Grasping
Okay.
at straws here.
It won't let me. It only has this hand, not this hand. Sorry, I thought that flower on the right was the hand, so we are selecting the hand then.
Never mind. That's nothing.
Okay.
Maybe not.
What's this? Does the tree have anything to do with the story? What about this?
Does his smile look different to you?
Let's go back to the book. The smile looks the same. What's the picture again? Oh, so, oh, okay. I'm getting it now. No go on the trees. Okay, so you have to spot the difference from the picture in the book. Okay, so in the book, there's two goblins in front, the princess is in the water, the hand is different, there's that tree isn't there. And there's no goblins. So let's select the tree, and as 14 said, there's no girl in the tree.
Wait.
Okay. Was there a castle? So tree, hand, girl. We also selected the title. The title was different. Was there a castle in the book? Let's see. There was no castle. There we go. I don't think there was a castle. Yeah, so those are the main differences I can spot. Do you think we've missed anything? Oh, hang on. No, that was there.
Even if the branch is a little different.
Wait.
Don't really
Oh, we did it! Yay! We did it!
It's in there.
This is adorable, by the way. GG's, guys. We did it!
Pictures, letters. Have you ever seen any of these?
All the pictures of Marianne I've ever seen were the ones hanging on the walls.
Wow. All right, let's start with this letter. Marianne, I can't do this anymore. You deserve better than cliche bullshit like, it's not you, it's me. But the truth is, it's all just been too much to deal with, and I've realized I'm just not ready. Maybe if we could have dealt with all this on our own, without your mum constantly putting pressure on us, things could have been different. But the damage is done, and it's probably too late for that now. I'm so sorry. You're an amazing person, and you made me a better man. Ugh. I hate myself for doing this, but I feel like we'll both be better off apart. There I go with the cliches again. Please don't ever stop being who you are. Here, but I'm gone. Brent. Have we heard the name Brent before? Is anybody named Brent that I'm not thinking of? It's not her job to make you a better man. Thank you. Exactly. That is why I kind of puked a little bit. Thanks for the time, baby. You made me a better man. You were my manic pixie dream girl. Gross. Huh, okay. Let's look at the rest.
This guy been any more cryptic? You think the guy with her is Brent from the letter?
I would guess so.
Maybe. She was probably keeping all this for them in case one day they wanted to find out who their dad was. Yeah, bye, Brent. Bye. Yeah, they're probably better off without you, to be honest. Let's be real.
She studied engineering?
No.
What?
It looks like she changed her major to visual arts.
I don't think she actually got it changed. The paper's not signed and...
Oh, snap. She went to UC Berkeley. Hey, East Bay. What's up? Berkeley's awesome.
I can't believe she was a ballet dancer. Marianne.
What?
Good one, too.
Did she just, like, make this puzzle about herself for her kids to learn about her? Oh, hell yeah, engineer. That explains all the puzzle engineering. Yeah, I was going to say, but it's like it combines visual art and engineering, which is really rad.
Oh, poor thing.
Oh.
Drawing of a pet in here.
Had to be a childhood pet for sure. My birdie Polly, I'll miss you forever. Oh. Losing pets is so hard.
Wow, I don't think I've ever seen a picture of her that young.
She was a ballet dancer.
In the background.
I wonder what her mum was like. Smells like a clue? Yeah. Could be.
The gold lady. That was definitely her mom.
So, did Marianne grow up kinda rich?
Yay, we got a collectible.
Would have been nice to have some of that.
Alright, I think that's everything. It's like she knew she was gonna die. Yeah, exactly, kinda, right?
Solve this one next.
Which one? Oh, she's in front of this one. Okay.
There's the gold lady again.
Mm-hmm.
She's all over the board. There was a figure of her in that stash by the Mad Hunter painting, right?
Oh, on the inside of the door?
So maybe all of this is related to what we found in there.
Oh, okay. Alright, let's see. So there's the bird.
Hey, I can move the piece next to the gold lady.
All these pictures. They look like
the ballerina that was in there.
Don't they?
What, the princess dancing?
Wow, grandma sucked.
Playing
Yeah.
violin, spinning wool. I guess this
Dang.
is stuff she did for fun.
Notice how
The wise princess looks like she's trying to run away.
she's being watched by the gold lady.
So there's a... Oh, this bottom one's a little confusing. There's a knight and there's a regular dude with an axe. I think... Oh, so she was in a relationship with someone that she loved. But her mum drove him away. Artist? To the right. Oh, there we go. Thank you.
What's the gold lady doing?
Whispering something into someone's ear.
Oh
while
my
the
god.
princess is back?
Really? Was her mum that terrible? Artist? Okay, so... So I picked the artist. What do we think about this row? There's money, there's balance, there's a medical thing, and then there's art. So that's the one that she chose. Art at the end, right?
Is that it?
It's open.
Oh, we did it! Yay! Good job, you guys. Thank you. Thanks for your help. Oh, an L. Okay. She's running away from something. Yeah.
What's in there this time?
Definitely her mum. Ooh, this is a lot. O-L for the big letters now. Yeah. GG, everyone. Okay, here we go.
Her father.
Is it going to be, I'm sorry I had to leave because your mum was a complete nightmare? Let's see. Marianne, I hope this letter finds you, but since you didn't leave any contact information, I will have to send it to your aunt and hope for the best. I'm writing to inform you that your mother passed away last week. Okay, so she didn't have a relationship with her mum later in life. Maybe because her mum was really terrible to her. We just had her funeral reception. The house has been filled with people all day. Friends, family, colleagues, and church members. It's now 11 p.m. and I'm sitting alone at the kitchen table, surrounded by dozens of trays of food, flowers, and sympathy cards. Your cousin Adie brought in a beautiful photo album full of our holiday pictures in Lacona. You're there in all of them, but you weren't here today. We haven't heard from you in 4 years and can only hope you made it to Alaska or wherever you are, and that you and your child are both safe. Did she only have one kid at the time? Your mother had been sick and depressed for years, and you can imagine why. The pain of being shunned by her own daughter, knowing she would never get to see her grandchild grow up. It spread through her body like cancer and consumed her completely. All this suffering simply because you ran away like a temperamental little girl instead of accepting her help when you got pregnant out of wedlock after dropping out of college and without a penny to your name. So she had a kid before she moved to Alaska. Because these two are twins. So did she have another kid? What? Oh, I'm already getting a feel for the kind of guy her father was. She only stepped up to help because she knew you weren't ready to raise a child properly. Do you think she would want her around her kids? Probably not. Marianne, a mother's duty doesn't end when her children leave home. Now that you're a mother yourself, I hope you'll begin to understand that good parenting isn't about coddling children. Oh, here we go. It's about providing for them and shaping them into the people they're supposed to become, whether they like it or not. Ooh, he sounds lovely. I won't trouble you again. You've made your intentions clear. I just thought you should know. This is juicy tea, a third child. Exactly. Dang. There's been no mention of another sibling. Oh no. What if the child died? Oh no. Dad. That's page 3. Dad's definitely subtly trying to make her feel bad for setting boundaries and not wanting a relationship with her mum, which she has complete prerogative to do, so.
What the hell?
Good
Marianne
times.
was pregnant in 1992, before she even
Yeah.
got here.
Before us. Do we have a long-lost sibling out there somewhere?
It's possible,
Oh,
but
snap.
she could have given it up or miscarried. Who knows?
Yeah, you're right. Do you think we could track down her father?
You mean the grandfather she never told us about? I don't think I want to.
You're not at all excited about having more family.
You saw the letter.
Not that kind of family.
I don't want any part of that.
Yeah.
Let's keep digging.
Yeah, I'm sure that grandfather would love having a transgender grandson. I'm sure he'd love it. Not to stereotype, but, you know, pretty sure Tyler might not want to put himself through that.
Salmonberry Park. Huh. Is that some kind of commune?
Looks like it.
From the good
So weird
people
to
of
imagine
Salmonberry
living in a
Park.
community like that. With, other people.
The weirdest part is how they all seem to love her. Where was prom queen Marianne when the whole town was turning on us?
Don't be a stranger. Keep on looking for those answers to the questions in your head to which you're blind. Smiley face, Shelley. We miss you already, Sol and Bronwyn. Sorry we're losing you to modern civilization. We'll miss your positive attitude and your adventurous spirit. Also your wild edibles picking skills. Haha. Pretty Marcus. Bon voyage, Marianne. Marianne, you had the warmest, most beautiful aura, and I know you'll keep on shining wherever you land. Peace and blessings. Thanks for being our little ray of sunshine. Godspeed. I like your pictures. Huh. So I guess she was very different and something clearly traumatic happened to her? I'm
Wow.
guessing.
She worked for a watchmaker in Juneau before she moved to Delos. No wonder she was so handy.
The post-it says, here is my Delos Crossing pal's number. I let him know you're interested in the house he's selling. So that's probably the person that hooked her up with her house. Awesome.
Carol?
Yeah, and Sam. Look
Wow,
at
she
him.
looks pretty young.
He's so young and happy.
And that's their house. Okay. Wow. They're like, well, you wanted to know. Here's all of it all at once. Good luck.
This just lit up, so I think we're supposed to try this one next.
What's this?
Some sort of map?
Okay, so one day she took her tiara and ran away to the forest. Okay, so an IKEA children's rug. Oh, brutal, dude. Brutal. Oh, but it really is though. Okay.
It's the Gold Lady's castle.
Okay, so she started in the castle. She ran away and went to be a watchmaker.
Sort of clock.
And then she ended up... Went to the commune first? Oh, you're right.
This looks like
That's
a
the
dinner
commune?
party with the old bear and the very old beaver.
Okay, so commune is the top. Oh, thank you. Is it?
What's that plant thing on top?
Oh, those are definitely salmon.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Hey, that degree in outdoor studies is paying off.
Animals are Dallas Crossing people, yeah, for sure. So then she went to be a watchmaker, right? And then she went to the house, and then she ended up with the Dallas Crossing people, or vice versa? Because I know she went to be a watchmaker next.
Sort of clock.
House, then friends with Sam. Okay.
This is the princess's house.
House, and then...
This looks like a dinner party with the old bear and the very
Oh.
old beaver.
Oh. Yay! GG's.
Another letter?
Thank you, guys. Ooh. How many life derailing letters are we gonna get in one room?
Is this from the
Olay.
Goblins? Well, sure looks like it could be.
Dad is named Oleander. Oh no. Oh no. The princess's loss. Oh no. I think she lost the baby. Once upon a time, in an ancient and deep forest, there lived a wise princess in a big wooden house. She had made it through the woods and to that house with nothing left but the clothes on her back and a single item from her old life, a splendid tiara. She lost almost everything in her desperate flight from the mad hunter. The trees tore the rucksack from her back and shredded her dress and left a pattern of red welts on her skin. But through it all, she clutched the tiara close to her chest, fearing any misstep could cause it to fall from her arms and break. The tiara had its own spot in the big wooden house, a pillow near the window where sun would catch on its surface to shine and wink. The princess would stare for hours at the tiara, marveling in its beauty and running her thumb down its curves. Every morning she would wake and she would tend to it, polishing its every surface to be sure it shone as brightly as it possibly could. Then she would pluck it up, place it on her head, and walk the woods, feeling somehow more complete. Because what, after all, was a princess without a crown? Every night she would place it upon its pillow, give it a quick kiss, and go to bed. On her way, she would pause and glance back to be sure it was still there. She hated to be separated from it, but she knew it was the safest on the pillow while she slept. One night the princess woke to a raging storm. The wind howled against the walls, rattling the windows in their panes. Fearing a gust might burst open a window and blow the tiara to the ground, she plucked it from its pillow and brought it to bed with her. All through the night she held the tiara close, and in the morning she woke to find herself still cradling it. The storm had passed, and the princess relaxed. That day was the same as any other, though she perhaps gave the tiara an even more thorough cleaning, grateful as she was that nothing had gone wrong. That night she placed the tiara upon its pillow, gave it a quick kiss, and went to bed, pausing on her way to be sure it was still there. In the morning she woke and sensed immediately that something was wrong. In the living room, the tiara lay upon the ground, broken, dull, and faded. Nothing else in the room had changed. The pillow was exactly where she had left it. The window was closed. There had been no storm, no wind, no sign that anything at all could have gone amiss. Only the broken tiara, mute upon the ground. She picked it up and held it in her arms with a guttural cry. But though she tried to fix and to polish it, it was gone, beyond repair and with no shine left. The princess held the tiara through the day and through the next night, sitting in the same spot at the window where she used to polish it. When the sun rose, she looked outside and her gaze fixed on a sapling. She remembered how this sapling had survived the winter, clinging to life despite the frozen, unforgiving earth. Without a word, she went out and buried the tiara in the ground beneath the sapling. And as the final scoop of dirt fell, the tiara felt truly gone, and with it, the final link to her old self. She could only go forward and find a new place for herself in this world, where she was no longer truly a princess in a tiara and a beautiful gown, but a one woman, alone in a deep and ancient wood. And that was how the princess lost her most precious treasure and her title.
And that was how the princess lost her most precious treasure and her title. That was the story she read us that night.
God, it makes sense now.
Yeah, she got pregnant. And she ran away to start a new life. And then she made her way to Delos Crossing, where she was finally happy.
What are all the little side panels too? Yeah, I'm curious.
But then the baby died.
I can't even imagine how she must have felt. She left everything behind, built a whole new life for him. And then he was just gone.
I guess having us helps her move on. But when it looked like we were gonna be taken away, she snapped.
Yeah.
She just couldn't lose any more children. It really wasn't anything we did.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do with all this.
This is a lot of information for one day.
All I wanted was to understand what happened to her. And now I do.
Yeah. We still haven't seen what's in that chest.
I'm scared.
Okay, so how do we open it?
All right. Well, let's also look at this
Why are these
guy.
pictures from the Book of Goblins here.
I don't know. We'll get to those later. Let's finish this one, okay?
All right, so Alyson doesn't want to look at
I want
the
to
other
take a crack at
things.
this one before we try to figure out any others.
Okay, so I guess the chest is going to help us
Why don't we solve this one first?
with the other ones. Bleh, fine. Yeah, exactly. Olé! What are these? Yeah, let's not do that yet.
Alright, should be easy enough.
Alright, so which one do we start with? I feel like they wouldn't have given us the letters in the order they should be entered in. Pie, pie, pie. I know, it definitely looks like the pie signal, right? So there's O was yellow. Okay. O was yellow. E was orange. Emperor, you're rad, thank you. Oh, these are letters. I literally thought they were the pie. Leo. Is this gonna be his star sign? Leo DiCaprio? Is Leo DiCaprio their dad? Ooh! Leo! You guys! Leonardo DiCaprio is their dad. We solved the puzzle. Good night.
Whoa.
Serious. So we found out their dad's star sign. That's good. Leo. Leo.
She noticed.
Dear Alyson, excuse me. Dear Alyson and Ollie, we write stories to understand and be understood. But what good is a story without a first act? I'm sorry I kept mine from you for so long. All my love, goblins. Postcard. Dear Penthouse, I never thought this would happen to me. My God.
Why does she have a photo of that tree locked in here?
Oh, we're gonna have to go outside. Oh, come on. Love goblins. That's kind of creepy. Oh, no.
Is that...
Leo Ronan.
Is that where the baby's buried? Oh, no. I don't want to go hunting for dead babies. I'm scared.
Why didn't you tell us about it?
I know.
Why didn't you tell us any of this?
Please don't dig up your dead older sibling. I don't want to.
Fucking terrible. That's why. Allie, did we do the right thing opening this?
I don't know anymore. I don't know anymore. This is creepy.
Even if...
So Leo was the child's name.
There's one more thing we need to see.
Are you sure?
We don't need to see a dead body. We don't need to see that. Ally McBeal's baby.
Come on.
What is wrong
Let's go to
with
the dock.
you?
It's time to finish this.
Please tell me the baby has nothing to do with this next chapter. I'm not okay with this.
You really want to go? You sure we've seen everything?
Oh. Never mind.
I guess we could stay a little longer.
What isn't wrong with me? Exactly. Alright, fine.
Old Beaver's repair list.
That's the story where the princess's house gets damaged by a storm and the animals help her fix it.
Yeah. What did they do to fix it again?
More story time. Alright, we have to find the story with the... Oh. With the beaver. More story time. Did the goblin save the old beaver? Or is that a different one? They can charge so much more money with this puzzle attic included. Yeah, exactly. Like, this house comes with a sweet puzzle attic. So... There we go. The beaver fixes the house. The artwork in this is beautiful. Yeah, it really is. Alright, ready for story time? Once upon a time, in an ancient and deep forest, there lived a wise princess in a big wooden house. One night, a particularly violent storm shook the house. It shook the shingles on the roof and the planks in the walls. It even shook the beams on which the house stood, blowing the whole thing near to the ground. The princess hid in a closet, fearing the house would come down on her as she slept. In the morning, the house was still standing, but it was badly damaged. The storm had blown shingles off the roof and planks off the walls and even bent a post upon which the house stood. The first two things she could fix, but the last concerned her. What will I do? Despaired the wise princess. For though she knew many things, she did not know how to fix the big wooden house. Just then, the old bear came by to see if the princess had any trouble in the storm. When he found her nailing planks back into place, he said, "Stop, princess, let me do that for you." "I'm happy to do it," said the princess, "but if you want to help with the roof, you may." When the pair were done with the roof and the walls, they examined the bent support post. "I could throw my body against it," said the old bear. "I am very large." He stretched up onto his hind legs, being sure the princess could appreciate how very large he was, then charged straight at the post. He threw his body against it with an impressive thud. The impact moved the post, but too far, and it ended up bent the other direction. The wise princess decided more precision was needed. She thought then of the very old beaver who kept an excellently crafted dam. Perhaps she can help. She went looking for the very old beaver and found the industrious animal hard at work slapping down mud on a part of her dam that had been blown apart in the storm. Most of the structure was unharmed because the beaver was very good at building things. The princess knew she'd come to the right place. "Beaver," she said, "my house was damaged in the storm. Will you help me fix it?" "I believe I could do that, yes," said the very old beaver, and she paused at fixing her own den to follow the princess. The very old beaver examined the big wooden house and nodded. "It'll be an easy fix," she said, and she set about righting the post with loud slaps of her tail. When she was done, the wise princess stroked the beaver's head. "Thank you, Beaver," she said. "The wind blew the shingles off the roof and the planks off the walls and even bent this post. Now, thanks to you, I still have a home." "Think nothing of it," said the very old beaver, who returned to work on her own den once again. That winter, the very old beaver grew ill. Very ill. She was not able to fix her den nor to gather food. When the princess found out, she set about delivering meals to the beaver. She brought stews of corn and beans and baskets full of bark and twigs from the beaver's favourite aspen. One day, the wise princess noticed that the beaver's den had begun to fall apart. She set about fixing it, and though she was not as talented as the very old beaver, the fix kept the creature warm and dry. "Thank you," said the very old beaver. "Of course," said the princess. "You helped me when the storm blew my house near to the ground. Thanks to you, I still have a home, and I'm happy to do the same." The princess continued to nurse the old beaver until the day she came to the dam, and the forest was still. No birds sang, no branches rustled, no small things skittered within the underbrush. "Oh," said the princess, staring sadly at the dam, for she knew the old beaver had passed on. "Goodbye, my friend." And that is how the very old beaver saved the big wooden house, and how the wise princess repaid her kindness. Sad story time. Okay. So do we think there's an order to this? Because what did they fix? The roof?
She slapped the post with her tail to right it.
Did she fix the roof too?
She fixed the roof shingles.
Roof and the wall?
She fixed the planks that... All right.
There we go.
Damn.
Oh, here we go. I'm doing a lot of reading today.
He doesn't really like to talk about her.
Dear Marianne, you cover your ears every time I try to have this conversation with you, so I thought I'd have a better chance of doing this in a letter. I know you don't like saying goodbye, so I'll keep my melancholic rambling short and sweet. I want to thank you with all my heart for taking care of me for these past few months. I can't even imagine how exhausting it must have been for you to look after a sick old lady when you also have 2 small children at home. I know you want me to keep fighting this disease and hoping for recovery, but it's always been a great strength of mine to know when it's time to let go, and that time has come. I'd like to ask you for one last favour. Please take care of Eddie after I'm gone. My poor boy puts on a brave front ever since his father died, but I know he's in pain. I would be so much more at peace knowing he still has family. Maybe he could teach the kids how to fish. He loves spending time with them. Thank you for the warmth and the peace you brought to my life. Give the kids a kiss for me, will you? Carol. So that was Eddie's mum. Jeez. Dang, so she nursed Eddie's mum while she was dying. Oh, okay, next. Each one is like a swift kick in the butt, or, you know, a punch to the gut.
The goblins had to help out the creatures of the forest to pay off their debt to the Pelican.
Well, what did they do?
You know, I don't really remember.
The crafty goblins' good deeds. All right, let's find that one. Oh. The Pelican forgives the goblins? Oh, there we go. Okay. Okay. Ready? Gather round, children. It's time for story time. Nyx is passed out over there, by the way. Him. Once upon a time, in a deep and ancient forest, there lived a pair of crafty goblins in a cave below a big wooden house. They lived with a wise princess, who shared as much food with them as she was able, but it was never quite enough. This left the goblins hungry. Very hungry. Always hungry. One day, as they were out foraging for food, the pious Pelican landed on a rock and dumped a smorgasbord from her beak, which the goblins knew was magic and never emptied. There were king crabs in red, blue, gold and scarlet, veiny blue shrimp, pink-shelled scallops, oblong brown clams, purple shiny urchins, and even one prickly red sea cucumber. The food just kept coming. They watched as the Pelican ate one clam and then took a nap. "Do you think she would mind if we took just a little?" asked one goblin to the other. "Her beak never empties. She won't possibly miss a couple of crabs," said the second, licking her lips. They were agreed, and so they crept over, filched some crabs, and ran. The goblins scarfed the crabs, but when they finished, they found they were still hungry. "She won't miss a handful of shrimp," said one goblin to the other. The goblins scarfed the shrimp, but when they finished, they found they were still hungry. "Maybe a few scallops?" said one goblin to the other. The goblins scarfed the scallops, but when they were finished, they found they were still hungry. So they went back for clams, and then urchins, and finally even the sea cucumber. Finally, they were not hungry, but there was also nothing left. Just then, the Pelican woke up. "What happened to my food?" she asked. Unable to lie about it, the goblins confessed their crime. The Pelican was dismayed, but she was a charitable-hearted bird, and she could tell the crafty goblins were growing little creatures. "Goblins," said the pious Pelican, "I will share my food with you, but you must, in return, follow my example and be as generous with others as I am with you. Take that to heart, and I will have considered your debt paid." "But we have nothing to give," said the goblins. "You have your nimble hands and your crafty brains and your loving hearts," said the Pelican. The crafty goblins realised how much they had to give, and for the rest of the day they looked for ways to help the other creatures of the forest. They found the stalwart moose struggling with an itchy, hard-to-reach spot on his back, so they climbed up and gave it a good scratching. Next, they helped the old bear, who could not get the honey out of a narrow beehive. They climbed up to the top of a tree with the hive and then dropped it, cracking it open. Finally, they found the princess, crying over a loss she would not speak about. So they wrapped her little arms around her in a great big hug and stayed until she felt better. When they were done, they returned to the pious Pelican. "Did it feel good being as generous as I am?" asked the Pelican. "It did," said the goblins. "I'm glad," said the Pelican. "We all have problems that we can't solve on our own. But if everyone goes about with generosity in their hearts, then there is always someone on hand to help. But we all must commit to do so, or there may be no one there to help when you need it." This made sense to the goblins, and they thanked the pious Pelican for her food and the lesson. Of course, by this time, they were hungry again, and that remained an ongoing problem until the day the stalwart moose taught them to fish. But that is another story. And that is how the pious Pelican forgave the crafty goblins and how she taught them charity. The end. Yay! Oh my god. Oh. Alright, so what did they do first? First they scratched the moose, I think.
They gave the stalwart moose a good scratch on the back.
Or was the frog first? The Pelican was the shop lady. Yeah. The moose is Eddie. Moose first. Who was next? Was it the beaver or the bear they helped next? The bear was next?
He broke open the beehive for the bear.
It's like, yes, food. Who was next? The princess was last.
They hugged the princess when she was crying. Nailed it.
Another letter, oh god. Oh god.
Our lives would have been so different if their friendship hadn't gone to shit.
Here we go. The Pelican Crossing is a specialty gift boutique located near the Oshia Glacier, catering to Gastineau Channel tourists as well as Delos Crossing locals. We specialize in an assortment of high-quality products from home accessories, handmade souvenirs, to personalized apparel and locally made art. The Pelican Crossing will be the first store to act as a relay between the buzzing arts and crafts scene and customers. In addition to a wide array of novelty handcrafted products, the consumer will enjoy friendly and knowledgeable customer service from Vici store co-owner Tessa Vici and up-and-coming artist Marianne Ronan. Excuse me, I burped. The business plan is prepared to obtain financing in the amount of $20,000 to purchase inventory and to help cover expenses in the first year of operations. In year 1, the Pelican Crossing plans to break even, and in year 2, we plan to generate a moderate profit. Working on the executive summary part of our business plan. What do you think, Tessa? Dang, so they were going to start a business together, and that obviously fell through. Okay. I don't see Marianne as being the best person to start a business with, you know what I mean? Oh my god, there's more. Oh my god.
The old bear's gifts for the princess. I'm totally blanking on that story. What did he give her again?
Why don't we open up the book and check?
There we go. The Bear and the Princess. Once upon a time, in the ancient and deep forest, the old bear stood on the bank of the river, swiping at salmon on their way to the spawning grounds. Just as he got his paw on a particularly fat one, he heard a woman shouting for help. He considered simply eating his salmon, but then she screamed again, and he lumbered over to investigate. After a short walk, he found the princess clinging to the top of the tree while a wolf snarled and snapped at the base of the tree. Old Bear would normally not get in the middle of such a situation. After all, as a fellow predator, he understood the wolf's need to hunt. But when he saw the princess, he was struck by her beauty, and he knew he had to help. With a great roar, the bear heaved onto his hind legs, rising to his full height. The wolf snapped and snarled in his direction, but the bear roared again, and the wolf took off into the trees, tail between his legs. The old bear fell back down onto all fours and stared up at the princess. She regarded him fearfully. "You can come down," he said. "How do I know you didn't save me just so you could eat me yourself?" asked the princess. "I suppose this is a fair question," admitted the old bear, "but I promise I won't eat you." The princess had no reason to trust the old bear, except that he had kind eyes, and so she slowly made her way down the tree. When she reached the ground, the bear only watched her, and so she supposed she was not going to be eaten today. "Thank you," she told the old bear. "Of course," he said. "Can I walk with you back to your home?" "Of course," said the princess. And so the princess and the old bear walked together through the forest back to the big wooden house. After that day, the princess would occasionally find gifts from the bear: a fresh caught salmon, a handful of ripe berries, a newly bloomed bluebell. One spring, when a sudden thaw flooded the path out of the princess's home, the old bear was there, and she rode his back across the river. The old bear began to think that the princess should be his mate. After all, she had no mate, and she needed one, so he could keep her warm and provide her a much more suitable den, and catch fish for her and protect her from wolves. She, in turn, would brush out his fur and pick berries without smushing half of them, and scratch that one part of his back he couldn't reach, and with how she took care of the goblins, she would be an excellent mother for his cubs. One day the old bear came with a ring of spruce and asked the princess to be his bride. "I'm sorry," said the princess. "You are a very good friend and I appreciate all you've done for me, but I cannot marry you. You're a bear. I'm a princess. It would never work." The old bear was crushed. "Can we still be friends?" he asked. "We will always be friends," said the princess. "But I will never marry you." The old bear and the princess carried on their friendship, and after 1 year he tried again to ask her to be his bride, but again she refused him. This happened 1 year later, and 1 year after that, and then finally the princess said, "Old Bear, you are my dear friend, and I appreciate all that you have done for me, but I would sooner you left me to the wolves than marry you." Oh, God. And that is how it will always be. I have my hands full with the 2 goblins who live under my house, and they are all I need. That wounded the old bear deeply, but it was finally enough to stop his proposals. They remained friends, and he continued to give her gifts of fresh salmon and ripe berries and newly bloomed bluebells, and the old bear never again asked the princess to be his bride, much as he might have wanted to. And that is how the princess befriended the old bear, and how she refused him. Oof. Ooh, that's rough. Poor Sam, I know, poor guy. Oh, well, dang. Didn't even know enough nice guy points. Yeah. Oh, that's harsh. Okay, so...
Some honey?
What are these?
Some roses, maybe?
These are the things he would bring her?
A newly bloomed
Oh, the things he would bring her, yeah. So
Wait.
there should be a salmon, right?
A handful of ripe berries?
Berries? And where's the salmon? There we go.
Fresh caught salmon? Nice.
Okay.
Man, he had it bad. Just couldn't let go.
This is probably similar to the letter we found in the other chapter where he like professed his love for her. Yay! Thanks, guys. All right. Sorry for the note under the door like a prison inmate. You okay? I stopped by and rang a couple times this week, but you didn't answer. I could see the light in the hayloft, so I figured you were in, but didn't want to talk. I hope I didn't ruin everything. I know I probably came on kind of strong, but the thing is, I don't know how to talk to a woman like you. You are strong and kind, and you know so much. It's hard for me to know how to keep up. I guess all that went to my head. But I want you to know I got the message, and I'm going to get out of your hair now, and there doesn't need to be any bad feelings. We can pass in the street and say a hello or not. It's okay. P.S. I noticed your car was leaking, so I put some sealant in there. You might need to take it to the shop, though. Let me know if you want me to come with you, because sometimes these guys try to rip you off. If not, no big deal. Sam. Ooh, poor guy. All right, so we just did this one.
The crafty goblin's loot.
That's from The Princess and the 2 Thieves. I drew the original.
And I distinctly remember drawing that.
Oh, bless her. She actually said the title of the story.
All right, Picasso. And you probably remember what the goblins stole in that story, huh?
All right, let's find this story. The Princess and the 2 Thieves. Gather round, kids. It's time for story time. I feel like I should have text that goes bring across the screen. Okay. Once upon a time, in an ancient and deep forest, there lived a wise princess in a big wooden house. The house was built from the strong wood of the forest, and it kept the princess warm and safe. The princess was not a native of the forest, but she never spoke about where she had come from, for it made her cry. She did not have many friends, but that was how she liked it. The forest was big and deep, and many paths led to her house, but not many visitors passed by. The princess was happy to be left alone in the big house in the deep forest. She knew that the forest would provide for her, and that its generosity had to be respected, so she only took what she needed. And for a long time, life was just fine for the princess in the big wooden house. One winter day, when snow blanketed the earth and ice bent the trees low, the wise princess realized that food was disappearing from her house. It was not much at first, only a few fruits and nuts and eggs vanishing during the night. Maybe it's the birds, she said, or the mice. And for a time the princess was okay with losing some food. for the winter was long and little creatures needed to eat too. But then small items started to disappear as well. Spoons and plates, forks and knives, and blankets. It was as if every time she was in one part of the house, something disappeared in another room. That can't be birds or mice, said the princess. I think I have a thief. So she went outside to look for traces in the snow and noises in the wind, but there was nothing to be found nor to be heard. That's strange, said the princess. Maybe the thief is hiding inside my house. For many days she hunted, looking behind the curtains and under the bed, in the attic and the chimney, behind the poles and under the carpets, but she found nothing. And as she searched, food kept on disappearing, night after night. I will make a cake, frowned the princess, a big cake with every egg and fruit and nut I still have, so that I only have one thing to keep my eye on. She spent the whole day making the cake and using everything she had left. The cake she made was so big she could hardly carry it. If I manage to protect the cake, I'll be able to survive the long winter, she said. So she added a lock to the oven and she kept the big cake safe inside. But the next morning the lock had been opened and the cake had disappeared. At first the princess cried because that cake was the last of her food until the snow melted. But then she noticed 2 trails of tiny feet in the spilled flour, and she followed the tracks to a hidden hatch in the floorboards. This is how the princess realized that 2 tiny thieves were living under the wooden house, right below her feet. The end. So her children are little thieves taking her food. I'm sure that made your kids feel great about themselves. Alright, so... no loots, yep. So they took... let's see.
Some flour for the cake, maybe?
They took spoons.
What if they took some spoons?
They didn't take clothes, and I think they took fruit.
Maybe they took some of the princess's fruit?
They didn't take flour.
Maybe not.
What is that up there?
Did they steal candy?
What was the other thing they took?
Some flour for the cake, maybe? Wait.
I thought that was it, or am I wrong? They didn't steal any of her clothes, right? They took spoons. Oh, I didn't realize the whole cake was something I could grab.
Maybe?
Is it? It's not.
Or not.
But I know they mentioned fruit. They mentioned spoons. Or did they take spoons?
I'm pretty sure they stole some eggs.
Yeah, they did. Let's put the candy back.
Actually, I'm not sure.
There we go.
That's it.
Yay! Good GG, guys.
I always wondered where that drawing went. She said it was her favorite, and then one day it just disappeared.
You are the best mum in the world, the prettiest princess. Aw. It's not another letter, thank God. Oh, I like reading them, but like this many at once is a lot. Alright, girl, what next? I'm waiting to see where she's standing. Oh my god, are we allowed to leave now? Ooh, let's look at this real quick, actually, before we go.
Here, the secret keeper, hiding secrets in the clouds.
Okay. I feel like there was one in the previous chapter that I didn't get because I couldn't get outside, but I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure I got all the secret little figurines. I hope.
We'll let the mangy muskrat have his rock back. Back in your pond, Big Frog.
Oh no, the bear. I'm missing the bear.
Goes in the forest, obviously.
Oh no, I'm missing the bear.
There you go, stalwart moose.
Oh, am I really missing one? Oh, come on. Oh, I'm missing one. That's so sad. I thought I had all of them.
Spot.
This is really
Crafty
cute.
goblins go here. The Mad Hunter.
Wow.
He's on the princess's trail.
I didn't get all of them. I'm missing a few. Wow, okay. Dang, there's a lot. Yeah, there's like 4 I didn't get, I think. And I'm usually pretty good at literally looking at everything in the room. So... Oh no. Oh my god, are we allowed to leave? We got everything, right? I don't think there's anything we missed. Oh, we definitely would have unlocked like bonus content if we had all the figurines. Poop. I'm gonna have to go back.
You really want to go? You sure we've seen everything?
Yeah. Oh, that's such a shame. I know there was... I feel like there was one I missed because I couldn't get to it. Or it seemed like I couldn't. But I didn't realize I'd missed 4 of them. Oh, I wonder what it would have unlocked. Oh no. Oh no, not the baby tree. Okay, good. Oh, wait.
What are we waiting for? I want to know who was here that night.
Oh, here we go. I hope that wasn't the key to finding the dad. I know, I know. I'm gonna be so upset.
Let's try and remember who Marianne was arguing with.
Oh, the music just got really creepy. Did you hear that? Remember. Remember. Who's it gonna be? Here we go.
Almost.
Wait a minute.
Tom Vecchi is our father?
How did I know?
It had to be him.
I called it.
Tessa knew, didn't she?
Yeah, she must have. It's what she didn't want to tell us.
God, Marianne and Tom?
I know.
Ah.
What should we do now?
Yeah, call him out here and make him tell us what was going on.
Uh-oh, that's not good.
We know his secret. He will. Tom? It's Alyson. We need to talk. We know it was you.
Oh dear. Ew. How did I had a feeling it was him. Remember I said I had that suspicion about him earlier on? Yeah. Yeah, he was like super threatening the mum too and just
Let me take the lead on this.
being a
I know
douchebag.
better. I thought I did, anyway.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
As long as we get answers.
And the music got all creepy. Yeah, something's coming. Here we go.
Kids, listen.
You're our father.
Yes.
Ooh.
You knew how bad it got out here. How little we had. Why didn't you help Marianne?
You mean all the money she wanted? We didn't have anything to spare. Well, that winter was rough on everyone. And you would have starved out here if not for all the free food we gave you.
Don't act like you had anything to do with that. That was all Tessa.
That's a cruel presumption, young man. Maybe it was Tessa's idea initially, but I supported it.
Ew.
Your mother was happy to live off our handouts.
This scumbag. Ooh, okay, what do we want to call him out for? You tried to burn down our barn, or you let Marianne drown? Which one do we hit him with first? It makes the most sense because he's the only one of the guys in question that had reason to not just be upfront about it being him. Yeah, exactly. And he was like oddly, like he would ask questions and stuff. Like I just got a weird vibe. Ugh. Ugh, Tom, exactly right. Drown? Yeah, that's what I was leaning towards. And he lived in like the same town as them and like never helped them. He just seems like a not great guy. And also he's running for mayor, so he has a lot to lose, and he probably cared a lot about his reputation because he was like threatening the mum to keep quiet and stuff. Like yeah. And she was begging him like, please, can you help us? And he's like, no, like whatever. And just didn't do anything to help.
You were here that night. You saw Marianne and Tyler. Why didn't you help?
I know it wasn't my best moment, but she threatened my life.
So you just decided to let her drown?
Oh my god, this guy.
I didn't decide anything. Everything happened so fast, I panicked. And by the time I got to town, Brown was already on his way.
Oh my god.
Nothing else I could do.
Ooh.
You tried to burn down our barn and knocked Tyler unconscious.
I never meant to hurt anybody.
Oh, please.
Supposed to be home.
Doesn't excuse the fact that you didn't even stop to help.
What do you want me to say? I panicked. I was terrified that this whole thing was going to blow up in my face.
Wow, this guy's full of excuses. Ooh. We still have the options to, what should we do now?
So what do we do now?
We tell him he's got to fix the mess he made, one way or another.
I know, I just realized that as you said that, Emperor. He's just like our government, disgusting and uncalled for. Exactly, Kate, thank you. Exactly, he sounds just like our government right now. But I just blah. Like, ugh, I'm not buying any of it. I'm not buying any of it. At all. Ugh. This guy is trash.
You failed us, Tom.
Mm-hmm.
You need to make it right.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do whatever you want. As long as none of this gets out.
We'll see about that.
Excuse me?
You want me to pay for my mistakes? Fine. But please, Tessa can't know. This would kill her.
Tessa already knows, Tom.
Yeah.
No. That's impossible.
It never occurred to you the reason Tessa cut Marianne off was you?
But she
Oh, you think your wife is dumb?
never said anything.
Think she's dumb? She doesn't know anything?
You should try talking to your wife.
Oh!
We wouldn't be in this situation.
Ooh, snap, Tyler. Solid burn, my guy.
Dead.
Come on. You of all people should appreciate how troubled Marianne was. She was unhinged. Something like this would have happened sooner or later.
Ooh. Okay, what do we hit him with now? You preyed on her or you abandoned her? Can we say both simultaneously? Go, Tyler, exactly. Oh, the look of disgust on his face. I love it. He's like, you are garbage. I want to say you preyed on her. So I don't think, like, that he did anything to abandon... Like, he abandoned her, but he was also awful. If only there are two characters. Wish we could say both. Yeah, exactly. I think we can. Definitely prayed. Yeah, I agree.
That was convenient for you, huh?
Get him,
You
Alyson.
preyed on her because she was vulnerable. And you knew you could always blame it on crazy Marianne Ronan if you got caught.
Hell yeah, get him.
Nothing like that. Nothing at all.
Liar.
Your mother was a very pretty woman.
Ew.
And she'd been so many places and done so many things.
Ew.
The way I always thought I would have.
Okay.
I got caught up. Love made me a fool. Look, I made mistakes. But this will not go any further than the three of us.
Why? We know. Tessa knows. Marianne's dead. There's no point in hiding it anymore.
Everyone's gonna know.
He's afraid it'll tank his campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Am I wrong?
Mm-hmm.
Jesus, Tom.
I've kept your secret all these years. I don't want to go spilling it. But I will if I have to.
What?
Ooh, you're threatening back now? There he
A
goes.
little story about self-defense. I've never told anyone how Marianne really died. That night, I came out here because I was worried about your...
Is he about to make something up? He was not oh, please. If I was them, I would tell everyone exactly. I'd be like, I'm telling everybody. I'm telling the whole town that you are scum. He about to lose his job? Exactly. Ugh. You know, I actually had the inclination earlier on that he may have assaulted her, like their dad may have assaulted her. Or if he's just being creepy.
That made me drink. Why did they do it? This is his fault. This is his fault.
I hope he's not about to make some story up to make Alyson think she's crazy. I shouldn't use the word crazy. Mentally unstable. If he was worried about her, why not knock on the door or something? Yeah, why are you creeping around their yard like a weirdo, clearly hiding from everyone? Well, because he didn't want anyone to see him going to the house, probably. So you'd rather look like someone who's about to rob their house than just like walk up to the door.
Mad Hunter.
She should have just put the gun down.
I'm not gonna hurt you.
Oh, so it's exactly what they already know happened. He just fucking ran.
No. No way. You're a fucking liar.
I saw what I saw.
You're manipulating us just like you manipulated her.
Tyler!
You're not listening to this, are you?
Yep.
Be smart about this, Alyson. Are you sure you want this to get out?
Ooh, he's lying. Ooh. I think the main difference in their stories is that in Alyson's story, their mum was threatening Tyler, or seemingly threatening Tyler. And in his story, the mum was like, I'm not gonna hurt you, and was like vocally saying she wasn't gonna hurt him, and then Alyson killed him and killed her anyway. So I definitely think he's lying and trying to manipulate them.
His name will be all but clear, but you'll be a killer. What will your uncle say? And Michael? Well, the whole town might turn on you.
Yeah, Tyler shouldn't have left her alone.
Don't touch her.
Yes, Tyler!
You know I'm right.
Nope.
Just get out of here, Tom.
Bye-bye.
Just please think twice before making any rash decisions. There are a whole lot of lives at stake here.
Toodaloo.
Leave
You
us
can
the
get off our
fuck
property
alone.
now. Thank you.
Never come back.
You can get off our property now. Do it again. Boop, boop. Yep. Exactly. Goodbye.
Allie, you okay? You didn't let that asshole get to you, did you? Did you?
What if he's right?
He's not.
I've been having all these nightmares about that night, and they were a lot like how Tom said. And now, when I try to remember, that's all I can see.
He's trying to mess with your head, and you're letting it work.
No, it's more than that. Ever since we started digging, I haven't been able to shake this feeling like something's off.
Something's off because he put this in your head. Don't let him get away with it.
He might not be lying. We keep getting things mixed up. We remember totally different versions of the past.
Those are just details. This isn't that. She was going to kill me.
I'm not so sure anymore, Tyler.
She had a gun pointed at me. She chased me. She said she was going to kill me.
She threatened Tom with those exact same words, with the same gun, on the same pier. The thing you said to Eddie the other day got thrown back at me. Don't you think it's possible that happened here too?
I guess it's possible. Fuck. I don't know. And we're never gonna know the truth, are we? Because the second you walk away from something, that's it.
Yeah.
I guess at this point, you just have to decide what you believe.
Me?
Yeah. You need to start dealing, Allie. And that means coming to terms with whatever version of the past feels the most true to you. No more running. Whatever you choose, you gotta live with it, okay?
Okay, so I don't want to believe that their mother wanted to kill them. Like, I don't want to believe that she genuinely wanted to harm the children. Like, I don't think that she did. I don't think she wanted to kill Tyler. Unfortunately, if we pick the option where she wasn't trying to kill him, I feel like that sides with Tom and his story and kind of sweeps everything under the rug. Do you know what I mean? Whereas if we go with she was trying to kill Tyler, that could also do the same thing. So I'm really unsure what to do. Wait, what if she was trying to end her life? Yeah, exactly. And I mean, she was very unhinged at the time and was like talking to herself and was like not really fully coherent. So do I think she walked at Tyler with a gun pointed at him? No. Do I think she had the gun in her hand and kind of wandered out onto the dock? Yeah, I do. Like, I don't actually believe that she wanted to kill him. Unfortunately, I'm worried that if we remember it, you know, as her not trying to kill him, then like Tom will get away with it. Do you know what I mean? Right, same. That she was going to end her life so she didn't have to face losing her kids. Yeah, exactly. And that's why she made all the stuff she did to be left for them. Yeah, exactly. I'm sure that's something she dealt with a lot, you know. Feeling like, and she, you know, they used to go hungry and she felt like an inadequate mother, and a lot of winters like she could barely feed them. So I feel like right now the game is going to give us a choice as to what memory we want to remember. So what are you guys feeling right now? I feel like Alyson will get resolution if she remembers the mum not trying to kill Tyler, because I don't think the mum was trying to kill him. Like, Tyler may have thought of it that way because he had just told her this major thing about himself and he was worried that she wouldn't love him anymore. And it was a very stressful night, and maybe that's just how he remembers it. But either way, the guy didn't stay around to help them. He didn't stay around to help her not drown. Like, he definitely just fled. Non-aggressive mother feels more in line with how the story developed for me. Yeah, I mean, it's not like they had scenes of her being abusive to them or like flying off to the handle to the point where they feared for their lives. And I actually think that the she was trying to kill me narrative also fits in with Tom's narrative of her, that she was this unhinged woman who could snap at any minute, and he may actually use that to his advantage. So I'm actually leaning more towards like the non-aggressive mother, because as Wolfchild said, that is how Alyson has remembered it, like numerous times. All right, let's finish this puppy. Let's do it.
I'm not gonna hurt you.
Believe Tom's version. Marianne did not threaten Tyler. Stick to your memory.
I'm going to kill you.
Marianne threatened Tyler. Okay, let's do it. There we go.
Herself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You interrupted her and we got confused.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Yeah.
That attic. Tyler, that was meant for us.
You guys totally called it.
Of explaining what she was going through. I made a horrible mistake.
Hey, it's okay. I'm here.
I want Alyson to start healing so bad. She loved her kids. She even made the dang puzzle for them. Exactly. I think we made the right choice. As much as I didn't want to give Tom the satisfaction. I didn't want to believe that she wanted to hurt them. Thanks for your help, guys.
See what I just found downstairs. What do you think? Will it have aged well, or just gone bad?
Oh, a little goblin mug.
Where are you at right now?
I just keep hearing her say she wasn't going to hurt you. Over and over.
We were kids. We freaked out. You weren't equipped to deal with that shit.
True.
She was just talking to you. And I killed her.
Stop.
That guy could have saved her, but he ran. It wasn't your fault. He came to the same conclusion we did with that choice. Yeah, exactly.
Ever.
What?
What?
Seriously?
I don't know. But I want to stop feeling like this. And I think we'll be better off without it.
What?
This morning, I kept getting these horrible visions. Of you and Marianne and Eddie.
Visions? Like our memories?
Yeah, but different. It was all my worst thoughts brought to life. You were in my bedroom saying I abandoned you. Eddie called me a snake.
I'm sorry. I should have been there for you.
It's okay. I was the one who walked out. I can't let that happen again.
Or you could go to therapy to deal with
I
it.
think it will. Something's been pushing us to find answers. And now we have them. Maybe I'm wrong. And if it stays bad, we can stop. But I really want to keep what makes us, us.
The Mad Hunter was forced to remain below the lake with the Moon Hag, but she did not kill him, because even reduced to just one hand, he was too useful a servant. Lo, he plotted
What do you
the day
think?
he would emerge,
Brothers and
to
sisters?
once again hunt the wise princess and earn back his left hand.
Always.
And that is the story of how the crafty goblins rescued the wise princess from the Mad Hunter.
Ugh. Uh. 6 months later. Oh, there's more, but wait. I didn't think it would be over so soon. Ooh. Where did Tyler's hair go? Oh yeah, there's a lot of dust. A lot of dust around here, huh? It's getting in my eye. Did they sell the house?
One last look. Good to go.
Oh, hello there. Well, that's a good sign. Oh, we're not done.
Hey, it's me.
Hey, me.
House is empty. I'm getting ready to head out. So, last chance. Is there anything you want me to do while I'm in town?
Listen, Ty, you're dropping off the keys with Tina, right?
Yep, gonna leave them at her office on my way to the ferry.
Well, that's it then.
How's Juno?
Big and full of people, even without tourists. Michael's been writing up rules for the apartment. I need your support against his whole food policy.
Just refuse to sign anything until I get there. Okay?
Okay, but you better hurry. If he gets
Oh,
his
he's gonna
way,
live with
we'll have
them.
one small shelf for junk food.
What? Heresy. I'm gonna need like twice that just for snack cakes after my surgery next month.
I know,
Tyler's
right?
getting his surgery!
How are you?
Good, actually. Really good. You?
Same. You know, emptying the house really cleared my head out.
Thanks for doing that. The observatory really needed me this week. And after everything that happened,
Oh, she got a
just felt
job.
like I needed to keep some miles between me and Delos Crossing.
No worries. You still loving your therapist?
Gail.
This is how
Yes,
everyone talks
I
on the
was actually
phone,
Just doing some
by
letter
the way.
writing she assigned me as homework. It really helped me get some perspective.
That sounds awesome. Did you see the article I sent you about Tom losing the election?
Womp
Yes, I saw your
womp.
message right before derby practice, so I didn't have time to read it. But I
Haha.
did
Oh, she's in a
cackle at the
derby
headline.
league, yes.
Did you picture Tom's face whenever you went in for a block?
No, but that is a
Yes.
great idea.
Anyways, I'm glad Tessa finally left his ass.
Yes,
bitch.
Tessa. Oh no, oops.
Did you see the article I sent you about Tom losing the election?
Oops.
Yes, I saw your message right before derby practice.
What a
so I
smooth way to
didn't
tie
have
up the
read it.
plot. Yeah,
But
exactly.
I did cackle at the headline.
I'm gonna head back to the
Did you
front of the
picture
house so I can
Tom's
start
face
from
whenever
there.
you went in for a block?
No, but that is a great idea.
Anyways, I'm glad Tessa finally left his ass. Karma is a bitch. Okay, I'm gonna hang up now.
See you tonight.
Okay, I'm gonna take one last walk through the house and then head to the ferry.
Drive safe.
Pretty sure that's the only way possible in the old Alyson mobile.
Empty house, I know.
Sucks to suck, Thomas Anthony Fecky.
Haha, bye. What a shame.
Huh. Well, at least she finally dumped his ass.
Dearest Tyler and Alyson, I'm writing this letter from Juneau International Airport where I will soon board a plane to Manila on a missionary assignment. I apologize for not coming in person to say goodbye, but I was called to make this decision alone and to carry it out on my own as well. I'm sure you understand that sometimes we must follow without question the prompting of the Spirit. I will not be coming back to Delos Crossing for some time. Before I go, there is still something I must confess to you both. Perhaps because I have never found the strength to confront my husband, I have never been able to forgive Marianne for her betrayal. I truly did love you both like my own children, and I always tried to forgive your mother for her unapologetic lifestyle. But when I discovered that you were the fruit of her affair with my Thomas, I wanted her to suffer like I was suffering, and I brought down on your house the wrath I never dared allow to unfold in mine. I've been deeply ashamed all these years, and I'm surprised how much better I feel with it out in the open. The greatest thing about truth is the peace it brings to your life. I hope you can find it in your hearts to forgive me. You have taught me once again how love will bring you further in life, something that Marianne had been trying to show me all along. Take care of each other always. In his steps, Tessa. Wow, good for her. Good for her. Go do your thing, sweetie. The world is your single oyster. Take. I'm keeping all these. Oh, the house is so empty. Hey Goblins, word in town is you guys finally sold the house. I came by tonight to help you fix what needs to be fixed, but there was nobody home. Are you gone already? Things change so fast these days. Anyway, you know where to find me if you want me to fix things. If you're still in town, I mean. It's getting late and I'm pretty tired. Oh, and I'm sorry for acting like the stupid ass I am. Everywhere I look, I think about what used to be. I've been trying to do better, but I think it might be too late for an old bear like me. Not sure if this will reach you. It's getting late. Call me if you're still around. Be safe, Sam. P.S. I wish it was as easy to fix everything as a boat. Aww. So choosing Tom's memory was not only choosing the non-aggressive mum, but also totally exposing him. Win-win. Did it say he was exposed? I'm not sure if he just lost, or do you think they exposed him? I wouldn't be surprised if they did.
Seeing it empty is so weird, but at least it's the last time I'll ever have to.
Oh. I feel like they would have, right? Because they kind of said they would expose him. Ooh, shiny. Ooh. Ooh. I think maybe they, well, I mean, yeah, the letter did imply that, huh? I'm wondering if like he finally said something to Tessa, or if they encouraged her to confront him. I don't know. Sorry, I'm distracted by this shiny postcard changing color. Shiny. Yeah, it's not like super clear at this point. But yeah, something definitely went down. But I'm not sure. Oh, they're in a chat room, chatting. Oh, let's see. Michael, must be a relief to finally be done with that place. Tyler, no doubt. If traffic's not too bad, I should be back at our place around 4 p.m. Although living together! Haha, traffic in Delos, only if the mailbox bandit escaped. Hey, I'm making that biscuit thing you like. Ooh! Damn, on my way, I'll probably take out some fire hydrants and stop signs. Don't die, I'll keep it warm. See you in a few. Oh my god, they're so cute. That's adorable. Hi, Imp. What you doing, lady? Imp. Hi. Wow, what a view. Look at that. Do you guys think Tom was exposed to everybody? I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he was. Oh, now you can go outside. Yeah, exactly. Can I take a picture of Tyler leaning on this railing? Oh, look at that view.
More jog down memory lane, Mr. Ronan?
Hey, I'm having a private moment with me, myself, and I here.
Okay, carry on.
Wow, they can be that far away from each other, huh? They're still using their voice too. That's awesome. It sounded to me like when she'd been the only one to know she didn't want to bring attention to it, but now she had the strength to do it because she wasn't alone in her knowledge of all that. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they did expose him, honestly. But they haven't, like, officially confirmed that, but I really wouldn't be surprised if they did. Because they said they were going to. Delos Crossing, most wanted escapes. Fuzzy Bandit puts mail at peril once again. Yes! Yes, Trash Panda. Alright. Let's swoop in the kitchen real quick. There were newspapers somewhere. Maybe one of them has more info about why he lost. Yeah, I did read the headline. I didn't see if you could read more of it, so I'll swing back and take a look. I'm just gonna check the bathroom real quick. Well, seems like there's nothing in here. From what I can tell. Oh, their little chart. Let's swing by the front door real quick. Because I think it just let me read the headlines that we can look closer.
Suck.
Ooh, read, okay.
Becky.
Let's find out. Thomas Vecchi loses mayoral election against current mayor Leslie Scow. Mayor Leslie Scow declared victory in her bid for re-election over controversial challenger Tom Vecchi. With almost 68% of the vote, Scow's triumph was the widest margin of victory in Delos Crossing history. Her rival, local business owner Vecchi, sparked much debate in the community over his gun control policies, but Scow's success has been mainly attributed to her willingness to reach across party lines. Many in the community say her re-election came as no surprise. According to sources close to the city council, Scow invited Vecchi to join her mayoral cabinet, but Vecchi refused. Vecchi declined to comment on the election results, except to say that he plans to focus on his family and other business pursuits. Some in the community are baffled by his comments, given the recent shuttering of Vecchi's business, the highly popular Tessa's Cafe, managed by his wife Tessa Vecchi. In a separate statement, Mrs. Vecchi announced she was ending her thriving business to focus on personal and spiritual matters. Okay. So it seems like they didn't... Did they sell the house with Mother's room with the puzzle key? I certainly hope they did. I wonder how much it cost to live there. Yeah, I'm curious too. So it seems like, I mean, I feel like if they had announced it and it was this big scandal, it would be in the paper. But I'm guessing, well, I mean, his wife also ran their store, so their store closed because she left. But I'm sure like people in the community, maybe, I don't know, who knows. Not exposed, just Tessa getting the gumption to face it and get away, yeah. Maybe they had a conversation with her. Or something. Or, like, he could have been so wigged out that he probably went home and was like, look, we need to talk about this. Or something. Clique. I was hoping they would, though. I was hoping there'd be this big scandal. Like, he was exposed as being this awful person. Ah, that's what he deserved. Bing, bing. Cute. All right, so did we go in this room? I don't think there's going to be anything in here. It's so empty. At the least, Tessa knows that the kids found out somehow. Yeah, true. Hey, also, this room has a fucked up lock. We're also taking the answer key to that too. Yeah, good luck. There's a maze upstairs. Like, good luck with that. You have to create your own. Also, the maze contains the key to the house, so good luck. Oh, I guess she hasn't seen what the house looks like empty yet.
For posterity.
Oh. Dang, like, I've never spent my whole childhood in the same house, and I can't imagine how weird it is to, like, as an adult, pick up and move out of your childhood home. Do you know what I mean? And it, like, still be there and be able to go back to those memories, you know? Like, that's wild. All right, is there anything else that I'm missing? Lean.
Certainly hope the new owners are Mr. or Mrs. Fix-It.
Oh, there's a paper airplane on top of the chandelier. Is it another letter that we have to read? Yeah, that would be weird. The dang details, I know, right? Sam's gonna be all up in their business trying to fix that house up. Yeah, he's gonna be like, you don't know me, but I basically co-own this house with you. So, yeah. Are those little... Oh, they're little goblin emojis? Oh my god, they're adorable. The goblin faces remind me of little bats. I love bats. Bats are the best. Alright, I think that's everything. Are there any rooms we didn't check? Okay, goodbye house. Let's go. My man's waiting for me with delicious food. Okay. Bye, house. Alyson wasn't even there for any of it. She was like, bye. She just left. Oh, Alyson.
Well, this is goodbye for real, I guess.
Bye. Yeah, I definitely think the three of them are sharing a place together because they talked about it before.
Hey, Aaron. It's Tyler Ronan. I thought I'd catch you on your break between sessions, but I guess you're going along with another rebel with too many causes. I know I haven't reached out since I left Fireweed, but I just wanted to say, well, you were right about grief, about it going in circles. This morning, I was out on the porch staring at the fog, and my mother, she just tumbled right out of me.
Well, I guess this is growing up. Oh my god.
But it was okay.
This is not a Blink-182 music video.
It actually felt good to remember.
Oh, there's a moose in the back seat.
Anyway, give me a call back if you get a chance. I'll see you around. And thank you.
Yay! The end! We made it! Yay! Oh man. Plus, Alyson needed Tyler's backup on the snack shelf, so they're definitely all in one place. Yeah, I know. I just thought it was cute that it was something they like potentially discussed earlier on, but then now it's like an official thing. It just like made me happy because Tyler initially felt like he was going to be third wheeling with them, but now that he has a boyfriend. Oh, it was adorable. Yay! That's the end of Tell Me Why. Thank you guys so much. We should try and fast forward to the end and see if there is a post-credit scene. This is so cute, yeah. Is that the only time we saw the dock in the daylight? Maybe. Yay! Oh. Imp is chirping. She's celebrating the end of Tell Me Why. Yay! Oh, man. Imp! GG's, everyone. GG's. Are we going to go through the decisions at the end? Yes. Yes. We'd seen it in the daylight before they called Tom and waited for him to show up. Oh, okay. Do you mean the whole thing? Oh, okay. Let's hit continue and see if there's any, Okay, let's see. Alyson was grateful they completed Marianne's puzzle. 21 forced the chest open, 79% completed the puzzle. There's an option to force the chest open? I didn't see that. That is why Tell Me Why won for Best Microsoft Xbox Game 2020. Exactly. Exactly. 100%. Well, gross, don't break puzzles. I know, your mum went through so much effort for that puzzle. Like, don't you dare. Yeah, I'm really happy this game got good accolades because it's well-deserved. Alyson was influenced by Tom's testimony. 61% believed Tom, 39% believed the twins. Well, it's worrying because with make your own decision games, you're worried that your decisions will have huge consequences. And in this case, it really wasn't huge. And I felt like it was like mostly positive, right? The twins trusted their bond and kept their voice. 5% let go of their voice. 95% held on. I wonder what decisions make you let go of it because I didn't really have a choice in that scene. So that would have been really sad. Eddie remained in the dark about Alyson's responsibility in the murder. 69% confessed to him, 31% did not. Yeah, I wasn't going to do that. That was not the time. Sam felt understood by Alyson. 32% confronted Sam with his addiction, 68% listened to Sam's story. Which we did. We listened to him. Ooh, 63%. Why would you not kiss Michael? Oh, sorry. I have a hair in my mouth. Why would you not kiss Michael? Why would you not do that? Like, I don't trust you if you didn't kiss Michael. That beautiful cinematic that we had, like, you had to go for that kiss. 37% of people are cowards. Yeah, or maybe they felt like it wasn't the right moment, or, he is literally perfect. Yeah, exactly. He's wonderful. Love Michael. I want a spin-off, like, cinematic, short cinematic, or a spin-off game of them, like, and their relationship, because it's adorable. Yeah, if you didn't kiss Michael, I can't relate. Wow, if you or anyone you know are struggling with suicidal thoughts or experiencing emotional crisis, you can find help using these resources. You matter and we need you in the world. National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. Wow. Okay, here we go. Is there going to be a post? Okay, that's the end. That is the end. My goodness me. Oh my goodness. Wow. We made it, you guys. We made it to the end of Tell Me Why. Thank you all so much for sticking with me through this journey, helping me make decisions. I really, really appreciate it. Yeah, as Kate said, this is why the game won Best Microsoft Xbox Game this year. It's, like, the ending just wrapped up really nicely, I think, without anything really horrible or traumatic or huge curveballs, and it still really worked. And initially, like, it wasn't until I saw the suicide hotline at the end that I was like, this is kind of like a love note to anyone who has, like, struggled with suicidal thoughts or mental health issues, like, and I felt that that was so important to see in video games, you know, because a lot of time for plot or story's sake, people just kind of barrel through and don't deal with things and or take those things into account. So it really, I really appreciated that for sure. It also won games for Impact at the Game Awards. Oh, awesome. That's rad. I think it deserves the awards that it got, for sure. All right, my dears. I'm going to head out for the night. Thank you so much. Have a good rest of your day, rest of your evening, wherever you are in the world. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. And I'll see you guys next time.